Hello friends, so today we can discuss the problem E from the latest AdCoder Beginner Contest 177 problem name coprime. So in the problem statement you are given n integers, the ith number is ai. Now ai, this term is said to be pairwise, like the ith term, or like this term can be said to be pairwise coprime if the GCD of ai and aj is equal to 1 for every pair. So what you are actually given here is like you are given n numbers, and now you want to tell that okay, now whether all these numbers can be called coprime. All these numbers are called coprime if you choose any two numbers and the pair of them is equal to 1, or every pair, the GCD of every two pair is equal to 1. So there are pairwise coprime. If this like statement is false, then they can be setwise coprime, in which all the numbers, if you take the GCD of all the numbers, they should be equal to 1. If the GCD of all the numbers is equal to 1, then they are setwise coprime. Else, if both of these conditions are not true, then like they are neither pairwise coprime or setwise coprime. They are called like neither of them. So you have to print out like not coprime. So these are the three statements you can print out according to the question given. Now as you can see in the first text example, 3, 4, 5, 3 and 4 are the GCD is equal to 1, 3, 5 GCD is equal to 1, and 4, 5 GCD equal to 1. So they are pairwise coprime. But in this, as you can see, the GCD of 6 and 10 is 2, and like 10 and 15 is equal to 5. So they are not pairwise coprime. But as you can see, if you take the GCD of all the three numbers is equal to 1, so they are setwise coprime. And in this last, they are not setwise coprime, because if you take the GCD of all these numbers, it is not equal to 1, and also the GCD of every pair is not equal to 1, so they are not coprime. So that's the first, the question itself. Now take it on to the implementation of first understand the logic part. Now because the constraints are 10 to the power 6, you have to do it in like O of n, and or you can do it in O of n log n. But the first thing is how you calculate GCD. Now GCD can be calculated in O of log n, like sort of log n. So then what you can do here is you can either write a GCD function. It is very simple. GCD of like a and b, like you can write down. So it's you just have to return like b mod a and a, something like that. You can also write this GCD of this, or what you can actually do here is you can write the pre-built GCD function, which is like this double dash GCD, and then you can write down this a comma b. You can write down anything which you want, and then what you can do here is if you are iterating over the whole numbers from left to right, then you can find out the GCD of all the numbers. So then in that operation you are just iterating over all the numbers and you are just finding out the GCD. So you can always check that okay, whether the whole it is a setwise coprime or not. Now the thing is how you can check that it is pairwise coprime or not. So to check it is pairwise coprime, you have to find that okay, for every two numbers there should not be a common factor among them. If any two pairs or any two numbers have a factor among them, then like there is the GCD of them is not equal to 1 and they are not pairwise coprime. So for finding out setwise coprime, you have to just iterate over the whole set in O of n, just find out the GCD, and then it is fine. For pairwise coprime, what you can easily do here is find out the factors of every number on which you are iterating. Factors you can find in O of under root n, and then for every factor you just store it somewhere. Now as you can see, the number is up to 10 to the power 9, 10 to the power 6, sorry, so that the maximum factor can be 10 to the power 6. Like 10 to the power 6 can be one factor, but all the numbers is 10 to the power 6 now, so the factors cannot exceed that. Okay, so the thing is just store the number of factors or the factors for every number in some array. Just make an array of 10 to the power 6 and then store them. For every number store the factors, and if you see the same factor again, then okay, this number and some other number which you have found out earlier can have some common factors, and then they are not actually pairwise coprime also. And if they are not pairwise coprime and setwise coprime, so the answer is that they are not coprime. I hope you understand the logic part first. Now I will take it down to the code easily so you can understand the code part, because the logic is pretty simple. Take the input of n, all the numbers. So GCD is just the first, take the first number as a GCD. Then, and also what you can do, find out the factors. This f will actually stores the factor of a of 0, because there is actually always two numbers now. So it's better to take the first number as GCD and then find out the factors of a of 0. I'll tell you how this f will function will work, and this will store out the factors of a of 0 in some array. This is the array fact, in which it will stores the factors. So I have made this array of 10 to the power 6 plus 5, okay, and then I will store the factors of this. Then I will iterate over from 1 till n, and I will store, or I will like modify the factors of a of I in that original global array, and also I will find out the GCD of this GCD and a of I. So I am actually iterating over this whole in like O of n, and this will actually work in O of n under root n. And then in the answer I will check that OK is one boolean variable which is false initially, okay, and if we find out that all the numbers are not pairwise co-prime, then I will update this OK. I will tell you more about this in the above code. If let's assume that they are not pairwise co-prime, then OK will turn out to be true, and like OK, or like if they are co-prime, pairwise co-prime, this will like print pairwise co-prime. Else if this condition is not held true, then we will check that if this GCD which we have calculated for all the numbers is equal to 1, then it is setwise co-prime. If both of these conditions are not hold true, then it is not co-prime. Now I'll tell you how we are doing this. Finding out the factors. So f, take the input of x. I have written down this. I will tell you why I have written down this. This is OK, which is initially false. Now how you will find out the factors of any number in under root n? We iterate over from 1 till I into I. It actually from 1 till under root of x. We'll iterate over that number. So for writing out under root of x, I will write down I into I, and then we will check that if x mod I is equal to 0, which means that this is a factor. So if this is a factor, the two factors can be, I'll tell you how we are processing it out. So let's assume that we want to find out the factors for 4. So we will iterate for 1 and 2. Then we will do a 1 mod, like 4 mod 1. Okay, this is equal to 0, which means that 1 can divide 4. So the factors can be 4 and 1. Okay, now you can simply observe that 1 can be a factor for every number. So like if I take 2 or if I take 5, 1 will always be there. And if I update 1 always, then it can cause wrong answer, because I have to check that this factor doesn't occurs one more time, but 1 occurs in every number, but we should not count it out. So that's what we have to reject. And also one more thing, so 4 factors, if you take 4 mod 2, then the answer is 0, which means 2 is also a factor. So the two factors for 4 is 2 and 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So they both are same. So you just have to take only one of them. If you update this also and this also, then this factor is counted twice. I don't have to count any factor twice. If any factor is counted twice, this means that this will not form a pairwise co-prime. But both of these two are among this same number only. Now they are not part of different numbers. So you just have to update it only once. That's the two logic you have to understand while finding out the factors of any number. So if you do a mod of x mod I, if it is 0, this means that the factors can be I and x divided by I. If both of them are same, then only take care of only one factor, which is a of I, and make the b equal to 1. Then what we can do, in that first case in which there can be a number which is 1, so and in the case in which the number can be equal to 4, so 4 mod 4 equal to 1, so that case will also be occur. So what I have done here is, we will only take the input of a and b if they are not equal to 1. If they are not equal to 1, what we will do, we will check that this is one factor, this is not equal to 1, this is one of the factors, and if this factor is present, this factor, we will check this factor in this fact array. If this factor is also seen earlier, we will make our true, that this factor is seen earlier, so this whole array will not form a pairwise co-prime series. So we will make our equal to true and return out that don't check any further, we have seen that this will not form. This function is just to only find out that okay, can any factor of any number is seen earlier or not. If this okay turns out to be true, it means that it cannot be pairwise, so we don't have to check this. Why we have to check this? We just have to find out, okay, now our next possibility can be if the GCD of all those numbers can be 1. So we don't have to check this again. But this function is already called again and again. So what you can do, if somehow this okay turns out to be true, then in the start only we will check that if okay turns out to be true, we will return out. We will not do this calculation again and again. If this okay turns out to be true, that okay, we don't have to do this calculation again. Else, if this okay turns out to be true, or this factor doesn't seen before, we'll mark this factor plus plus, and same we'll do for b. We'll mark these factors in this factor such that we will check that okay, whether this factor is seen earlier or not, and then we will run out this loop or this function to store all these factors in this factory, and then in the end we will just have to check that okay, after all this, if this okay was initially false, okay, if this function doesn't make this okay to be true, then it will be false. And if it is false, we will just find out okay, if the negation of false or it is true, which means that it doesn't hold or it is pairwise coprime. If it turns, or if this make this function okay equal to false or equal to true, then this cannot be pairwise coprime, it can be this or this. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code. If you still have any doubts, please mention down. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.